Well. Bitcoin is doing things today. What's up with that price? What's going on, Bitcoin? What's going on? Guys, welcome to the party. Ladies, gentlemen, let's talk crypto. Let's talk Bitcoin. I know. Price is going down. Don't panic, but everything's going to be fine. Okay, this is just another day, really, in the cryptocurrency markets. I want to dive in, look at the charts, look at some of the money moving around on chain. Also, we're going to be talking about some altcoin stuff, some airdrop stuff at the end of the video, some interesting stuff. So make sure to stick around for that alpha, of course, and answering your questions. Second half of the stream. So stick around for the good times. I'm excited. It's another great day to talk crypto, guys. These markets, never a dull moment, is there? Of course, for the people who know, it's a great time to be buying the dip. I like this meme. I didn't buy the dip. That's why no one will remember your name. Now, the coin I most like to buy on the dip is not dipping, Jupiter. The Fook, man. Why won't this thing go down more? Come on. Some whalies come and sell big bags, make it back at least $1.30. That'd be great. Anyway, besides the point, we're going to dive into some other things to look at as we go through the video here. But generally, in a bull market scenario, dips are for buying. And I want you to understand something as well here. This is the daily chart for Bitcoin MACD, reversed real fast, strong downward trend. Now, the move yesterday down to 65. Let's just take myself screen for a minute. $65,000 or 64,500. The uptrend line still intact more broadly, but I want to point this out as well. We still have not actually hit the 50-day EMA. We've come close. Back on the 20th of March, we came within about $1,000 of it, and right now we're came with about $1,000 of it again. Have not hit it, have not had some nice fat juicy wicks underneath it. That's all likely to happen during a bull market cycle. And I know, right here on this day, $73,000 Bitcoin. This is when everyone was saying it's up only. There was huge greed. And of course, we were talking about that here when that greed was playing out on the timeline. Huge greed in the market at that point. Now we are seeing our correction coming into play. It's all to be expected. It's all part of the plan. It's not anything crazy. And the sooner you get used to this kind of stuff happening in the market, you're actually not going to fear it, but you're going to welcome it. I actually now get more paranoid when I see the price going up. I like that a lot less. I feel much more comfortable when the price is kind of going down or a bit mellow. Feels more comfortable to me. Don't know, less greed, less crazy on the timeline, of course, until it's all over and then we have a new bear market, and that's just pulling of hair and gnashing of teeth for a year on end. I'm taking 6 months off this time, guys. I'm telling you, hold me to it, okay? Hold my feet to the fire on that. All right, here we go. I want to share this with you because it's an interesting perspective, right? All that crazy on the timeline, people freaking out and losing their minds. Oh my gosh, what's happening to Bitcoin? Big fat triangle. That's what happened with Bitcoin. If we stay within this, and obviously a break under $64,500 would invalidate this. So do keep that in mind. Currently, it's an interesting pattern to be keeping our eyes on. What will happen with this? Don't know. We'll see. But if we can keep grinding sideways approximately, we'll have a little fake breakout, a little fake dump down. But generally, if we respect that structure, that could take us all the way until the Bitcoin halving approximately in 3 weeks' time. Remember, the Bitcoin halving's coming. Everyone's freaking out because the price of Bitcoin's down, 15% or something like that. 3 weeks before the Bitcoin halving. Good luck. Good luck. Roman says, I know we're going to get this question in the second half. Roman said, sometimes you should sell if you're in shitty projects. Don't sit there and just told, well, he says, Cardano. I know there's been some Cardano fans who have not liked the things I've had to say recently. I'm not necessarily going to bash Cardano here, but it's true. In a bull market, new shiny coins tend to outperform older coins, especially top cap size coins. Okay. So just a thought. I actually sold my Arbitrum bags recently. Had held those for a long time. I sold them at a slight profit. So it's not like it was, the end of the world or anything, but I sold them. They were underperforming. You have to be honest with yourself. Sometimes you have underperforming bags and just say, see you later, bag. Thanks for the good times. Look at this. This is interesting. Bitcoin Archive's got a few good ones I want to share with you today. So in 2020, after we sort of had that initial move into highs, we had two big corrections. So one just under the previous all-time high. We got very, very close to it and then had big correction. One just after we just tipped over the all-time high, big correction once again. These taking out the previous all-time high is not meant to be easy. Okay, it's meant to be hard. And this is exactly what we're seeing right now. A lot of things moving around, okay? So keep that in mind. Of course, our current structure, by the way, looking kind of similar. Will that exactly play out like this? I have no idea, but it's food for thought, right? Food for thought. Bitcoin, though, perspective-wise here, guys, we have spent 33 days in a row now closing over $60,000. Perspective. 6 months ago, people would have been eating their left arm off just to have this kind of price action. Don't eat your arm off, guys. You need your arms, okay? Much easier to type with two arms, but still, you get the point, okay? Wild how much recency bias can fuck us up in the market because you're looking like, oh, well, it's down 15% in the last 3 weeks. Yeah, but it's up 200% in the last 6 months. Perspective. Here's a great one from CryptoCon. The price that Bitcoin corrects is, well, I better take myself off the screen here so you can see this very well. The price that Bitcoin corrects to is ultimately dependent on whether or not price is remaining in a parabolic uptrend. If it's parabolic, then it could turn around at any moment. This also means that we would be likely to see a first cycle top like we saw in April 2013 or in early 2021. If the price is not parabolic, then it would revisit healthy supports like the 20-week EMA, currently sitting at $53,627. How much would that screw people up, man? If we went all the way back down to like 53K at the 20-week EMA, the timeline would just be full of pain and fear and everyone losing their minds. Yeah. I know. Crazy stuff. Anyway, hey, let's do a real quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is CoinStats. So we're actually tracking right now our portfolio for our $10,000 to $100,000 challenge over here on CoinStats. So it was more than just a portfolio tracker, but it is a great portfolio tracker letting you track DeFi, NFTs, all your crypto coins. You can link up all your exchanges, your different wallets, all that kind of stuff. They support over 1,000 DeFi protocols, over 300 different wallets. They have AI tools as well for predicting exit strategies, price predictions for coins, advanced coin insights. And we can see, for example, the market cap here at $299 million, circulating supply, volume, all that kind of stuff, portfolio allocation, all that sort of things. So lots of different things, trending cryptocurrencies, coins with similar market caps, cocking new markets, different news and stuff coming out about meme coins. So it's all over here on the app. You guys can come and check that out. You can even have a little sneak peek on other portfolios, which is pretty interesting. So this is actually Arthur Hayes, the CEO of BitMEX's portfolio. So already trusted by over 1 million people globally, CoinStats. You can come and start enjoying their different tools and their insights. And look here, you can see, of course, how Arthur's chart's been performing. This is not his only wallet. He's got multiple wallets, but still you can see his NFTs and stuff that he's holding, all these different sorts of things. Now, if you want to get yourself a subscription, you can actually get 50% off. It's usually $14 a month. You can get it just for $7 a month using the link down below in the description. So check it out. Okay, so let's get back into it. Now, GBTC, this was the day before yesterday, still the biggest dumper, 302 million. They still have like 300,000 Bitcoin left. If they keep selling at the speed of around $300 million a day, then they'll be out around July 2024. Great. Perfect. Just what we need. The sooner they run out of Bitcoin to keep dumping in the market, the sooner Bitcoin ETFs can have real price discovery action. It's been pretty impressive so far, the billions that have come in. Now we need to see Grayscale run out of its Bitcoin because people are going to continue to take their money out of Grayscale until we reach some kind of equilibrium where people are just deciding, I'm just going to stick in because it's less painful to stay in than to try to go and do whatever else. So to keep in mind. But they don't have infinite amounts of Bitcoin. They will keep selling. They will keep selling. And I welcome it. The sooner the better. Sell it all, man. Dump all the grayscale Bitcoin. All right. Dump all the Silk Road Bitcoin. Dump all the Mt. Gox Bitcoin. Pull the Band-Aid off, man, so we can get rid of this bullshit FUD that keeps screwing up the market and just we'll move higher. It'll be fantastic. Hey, by the way, on this big move, as CRG points out, 1.2 billion in open interest wiped out. Funding completely reset. That is a healthy move. True. Definitely is. The market has these regular flushes. You need to understand this, that these regular flushes come in the market and they wash out the greed, they wash out the leverage, and then we reset and go up again. Doesn't mean we're going to go up straight away. We could see further price action to the downside. Remember that 50-day EMA will be retested. It will be hit at some point. Question is when. Look on chain. Tether Treasury minted $1 billion USDT 2 hours ago. That was, I guess, now 7 or 8 hours ago my time. So, interesting. That's a lot of cheddar. People are out there buying. Money's out there, guys. There's more money out there and you know what to do with. You could imagine. It's wild. Absolutely wild. 250 million USDC minted at the USDC Treasury on Solana. Big mints, lots of money, lots of dry powder out there. They'll come into the market. And of course, people will be buying dips and accumulating positions. And as usual, the money moves from the impatient to the patient. Render under $10. Still have not bought any. Watching. I'm still watching. There's a few things on my maybe to buy list right now. Render is one of them. I keep thinking maybe I should go, maybe just throw some money into Golem. I don't know. It's much. I could have the big narrative, could really turn things around. We did a report on Golem recently, and I don't think it's quite as bullish. Not even quite. It's definitely got a lot of catching up to do to be as bullish as Render. Render is really doing all the right things that you want to see in a crypto project. Have not bit. Might still bite. We shall see. I'm also looking at maybe adding some more base plays in. The only real base exposure I have right now is like Axelar, which is not base specific, but yeah, okay, works with base. And the meme coin Benji, which is super highly speculative, is probably going to go to zero. Maybe it doesn't. Fingers crossed, of course. But besides that, I don't have any great base exposure. I'm feeling underexposed to base. I'm really starting to niche down on the narratives that I think are going to be the most important ones for the cycle. And we'll do a whole video on that topic as well. But basically right now, Solana, obviously, base, obviously, AI, obviously, meme coins, love it or hate it. They've been crazy. And I still think gaming is going to have a massive, massive move. Oh, hold on. I want to answer this one real quick. It's a security question. I don't want to miss this one. He's saying, I think I had been been using Trader Joe, and Trader Joe asked for a 12-word recovery by using a phishing site. Is my Meta wallet compromised? If you did not enter your 12-word recovery phrase, then no, you should be fine. Okay? Just going onto a site like that is not in of itself, as long as you didn't download anything. If you didn't download anything, if you downloaded anything or saw any downloads come in, that could be very, very problematic. They might have put some kind of keylog stroker or something on. If you didn't download anything and you didn't give them your 12-word recovery phrase, then you're going to be fine. Be very careful. Make sure, guys, you are 100% always going to the official sites. Never, just never click on anything in any email ever for any reason. Whatever the official website address is for any particular site that you're using, you should have it bookmarked always. Okay. And if you want to be extra paranoid, before you do any transactions, go over and check their X account to make sure that their front end hasn't been hacked or something like that, because that does happen from time to time, as crazy as it sounds. Anyway, be careful out there, guys. I know crypto's crazy, but simple stuff. Never put in your 12-word recovery phrase, stuff like that. I hope, nice smack. I hope you didn't do that. I hope that your coins are safe. If you didn't do that, then your coins should be safe. Okay. Did you connect your wallet? I hope you didn't connect your wallet either. If you did connect your wallet, disconnect it. If you signed anything on that site, definitely go to revoke.cash and revoke those permissions immediately. Be careful out there. Okay. If my guess is that if they did get access, your money would already be gone. Okay, but if you want to be extra careful, then go and just start a new wallet, move your funds over just to be extra safe. Okay, not following all the details in the chat here. Let me just see. I want to make sure this guy's coins are safe. All right, guys, we're gonna have to have a look here. Has he had a follow-up statement or not? Let's just see. Make sure he didn't connect. Yeah, unwrecked as well. Also a good one. Anyway, he hasn't followed up with a comment yet, but yeah, I hope your coins are safe, man. Anyway, we're getting distracted, but I want to make sure Bill's coins are safe. It's what's worth the distraction. We still have the Q&A session coming. Let me get through the rest of the news here, guys. A few extra things I wanted to point out for you. We got a few airdrops to shout out real quick, and then we will jump into your questions. So real quick, Solana charts. Yeah, by the way, Pop-Tart, I do have a video on that. I have done a separate video. I've probably done multiple videos, so go and check them out. I need to make some good playlists or something for that kind of stuff. We also have tips on our website, how to stay safe, but you actually have to go read these things. You have to watch these videos and take the advice seriously. Anyway, Solana, look at this. Fascinating. 4 weeks in a row now. We have stopped out right here, $200. It's the line to beat for Solana. Now, we talked about that as Solana was coming up to this line, and obviously we did trade a bit above that, but just on the wick. We talked about how this is a very, very important area from all the way back here, of course. Obviously, the market is respecting that currently as a very important price zone for Solana. We need to see it breaking above that to have the move higher. Obviously, need some conviction. We need a good, strong weekly candle at like 220 or something like that to say, okay, that could be the breakout that is going to get us finally past this. And it's obviously not going to happen until we move beyond the current sort of correction in the market. Bitcoin obviously tends to be the main bellwether for where the crypto markets are going to be going. Anyway, so guys, check this out. By the way, if you are a Jupe voter, if you voted for the first LFG, the first launch pad on Jupiter, then you will also be getting a Zeus airdrop. So come to lfg.jupe.ag/Zeus right here. You can see that, and you will be able to see how many coins you can claim. The claim's not live yet, but it will be live soon. You can see if you are going to be eligible or not. Okay. Cryptic Poet says the trend is clear. Base is set to become the Ethereum, #1 Ethereum layer 2 at total value lock. Look at this. Money is flowing out of basically every other layer 2 right now. It's out, leaving Starknet, it's leaving ZK Sync, it's leaving Linea. Actually, ZK Sync and Linea are probably the two that are like dark horse most bullish from the layer 2s after Base. I don't think you can compete with Base. Stuff like Blast, it's going to have its own sort of degenerate community of stuff going on, whatever. Arbitrum has been the top dog for a while, but fight Coinbase at your own peril, man. Look at this, up 35% in a week, total TVL. Everyone else bleeding market share. I think that continues. Smart wallets coming soon. 120 million users on Coinbase. It's going to get wild. Hey, speaking of airdrops, by the way, Foxy, Linea's. So, okay, Foxy is being launched by the guys behind MetaMask. Behind MetaMask is Consensus. That's the main Ethereum development studio. These guys, airdrop coming for MetaMask swap users. Now, 5% of the total Foxy supply will be distributed to the top 100K MetaMask swap users. Now, I have used MetaMask swap many times. The fees suck. It's like 0.875% fees or something like that. It's highway robbery, man. Anyway, I've used it quite a few times on 2 wallets, actually. I wonder, and this has been over a few years, I'm going to be pissed if I don't get in the top 100 wallets on one of those 100K wallets on one of those addresses, but I guess we'll see. I'm sure there's people who have been much more diligently like hardcore airdrop farming this that are like, doing 1,000 transactions at $5 a piece. And anyway, we'll see what Foxy ends up doing. But I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Come on, give me an airdrop, baby. It'll make up for all those big fees spent on MetaMask swaps over time. So let's have a look at that. Let's see what happens. Hey guys, real quick too. Planet Mojo. These guys are coming out pretty soon. So this is a game. Now this is actually interesting because these guys actually have a partnership with Amazon, which is pretty wild for a crypto gaming company. Anyway, they did like a big NFT drop with Amazon 6 months ago or something like that. I think their partnership may have ended recently, but still, it's pretty big partnership. I think getting them out the gate for, at the time, a relatively unknown crypto game. Now, of course, a lot more people have brand recognition of what Planet Mojo is, what they're doing. Guys, obviously, I'm a pre-sale investor in Planet Mojo. If you ever want to see my full portfolio disclosures, what coins I'm currently holding, what my venture investments are, you can find a link for that down below in the description or in the pinned comment on X. Anyway, the reason we're talking about Planet Mojo and their game and all that cool stuff is that you can actually farm this airdrop for free right now. Okay, so check this out. Ready for an airdrop with Mojo Marathon from April 4th to the 12th. We're hosting a play to airdrop event for our new runner game, Go Go Mojo. This is your chance to play and be rewarded social airdrop points in the growing Planet Mojo Web3 gaming ecosystem. Literally, you're going to get paid in coins to go play their game. Plus, that's one thing. Plus, there's also, you can find this link on their official Twitter account. Okay, so it's mojo.forge.gg, just here. Sign up, create your account, do some social tasks, connect your wallets, follow them on X, join their Discord, yada, yada, yada. You're going to get points. Those points will turn into an airdrop in the future. Now, it may not be worth truckloads, but it might be worth something. So if you're out there wanting to play a fun game, farm some airdrop points, that's there for you. Okay. Okay. So, by the way, guys, if you're not signed up for the airdrop, to the newsletter yet, get signed up for the newsletter. Best damn newsletter in crypto. Obviously, every single week we're sharing wild amounts of alpha in the newsletter. We try to share lots of course, great things with you guys here in the live streams, but we go way deeper in the newsletter. So check it out. Every single week you are going to be getting airdrop alpha, NFT alpha, altcoin alpha, and much more. Join our 110,000 weekly readers for free using the link down below in the description. Thank you very much. So, or pinned comment next. So, okay, let's crack into it. When you sell airdropped tokens, how is that taxed? Well, you basically are taxed. So let's say you receive $1,000 worth of, and I don't know what your jurisdiction is. Okay, it's going to be different depending on different jurisdictions, but in most cases, in most jurisdictions, if you receive $1,000 worth of airdrop coins, that's probably treated as like $1,000 of income. So whatever your tax rate is how it's going to be taxed at. So you do have to pay taxes on those. Okay, so keep that in mind. But hey, it's free. So if you have $1,000 of free coins, you have to pay 30 or 40% tax on it. You still made $600-700. So it's not bad, right? Not bad. Okay. MTB East, crypto's crashing. Lark is shilling coins. Clown emoji. You know what the clownish thing actually is to think that, oh my gosh, crypto's crashing, dude. Bitcoin's down. Everything's up multi-hundreds of percent this year. It's not a crash. Okay, this is a market correction. People will add to their bags. Market prices will push higher in a few weeks or a few months, and people who added coins will be in profit, and people who, I guess, I don't know, clown emoji dude here is selling his coins. You don't want opportunities. You don't want free airdrops. You don't want to find out about the biggest trends and narratives so that you can participate and make money on those. I don't know what to tell you, man. But you're probably not going to make it. Probably not going to make it this time. Good luck. For the people who are dialed in, who are paying attention, the market is full of opportunities, and a lot of money will be made. The tweet you showed of the U.S. sending Bitcoin to Coinbase was totally incorrect. Oh, well, there you go. Apologies then for that. Regardless, they will sell the Silk Road Bitcoin at some point. So thank you for the correction. I didn't mention it because I didn't see it, okay? Not trying to create false narratives or something. Just trying to share the news. Sometimes I get it wrong. Apologies for that. I just checked. Base crypto is so cheap. Well, a lot of the coins on there are still relatively cheap by comparison. But you got to remember, it's a new ecosystem. There's going to be a lot of bullshit, all that kind of stuff. MTB East, you're all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. Just remember, big picture here, man. Big picture. What do you think about staking, Jupe? Big fan. So far, hey, I got a big bag, so it's I got my first airdrop coming up from Zeus. We're going to be getting the 100 million Jupe coin incentive to everybody who's actually participating in governance. You're getting 75% launchpad fees. Like, man, it feels like just such an obvious play considering how big the Solana hype is right now. Nestor asks, how much Jupe is a good amount to own? Completely depends on you, man. Completely depends on you. Now, look, it's now the third largest position in my portfolio currently. That being said, your portfolio might look totally different. And I don't know what's a good number for you. You got your own portfolio. If you have a $10,000, $100,000, or $1 million portfolio, I have no idea. And your own risk and parameters and how much you believe in the Solana ecosystem, all this kind of stuff is going to dictate what you think. And certainly, of course, you should be buying based on your own analysis and thoughts and thesis regarding that coin, not just because I mentioned something here on the stream, obviously. How much is a good amount to own? Whatever you think is a good amount to own. That's how much. Whatever you're willing to risk, what you think is the risk of buying that, especially if you're trying to buy now that it's up 200% or something in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. Fahad says, do you recommend selling now or just wait? Well, look, I cannot tell you what to do with your money. Now, my general sentiment in the market is that why would you sell right now? Now, if you're expecting dramatically lower prices, okay, so you think Bitcoin's going to go down to what we said earlier, maybe it goes down to the 20-week EMA as CryptoCon's analysis shared, right? So, okay, great. We're going to go down to $53,000. Fantastic. Now, that is about a 15%, 17% drop from where we are currently. So what you're going to do, let's say just as an example, okay, you didn't sell at 73K. The bull vibes got you. You thought, okay, and I didn't sell at 73K. Why would I sell at 73K? We're going much higher than that. Why even bother screwing around with all the taxable events and the bullshit? That's not worth my time or my energy, man. Okay, so, but you didn't do it then, but now you're maybe getting a bit like, crap, what's going on in the market? Are my coins going to go down? I don't know, man. I'm getting scared. Feeling a little bit of panic. I get it. Oh, I get it. I get it. Believe me, I get it. What's your risk reward right now? So you're going to sell, hit a taxable event, assuming that you're in profit, you're going to hit a taxable event, take a big tax hit, rebuy. I guess you're planning to rebuy at 53K or 54K. I mean, let's just say with Bitcoin, obviously this applies equally to all your altcoins, which if Bitcoin goes down 17% more, your altcoins are going to go down 30, 40%, hit the next major areas of price support, et cetera, et cetera. But okay, what's your risk reward in doing that? Let's just use Bitcoin as an example. So you're selling now, hoping to buy 15% lower as sort of like, the lower end of where we could end up, for example. Okay, sure. But that's a pretty big risk compared to the reward of simply holding, because my personal thought, Bitcoin's probably going to, I'm going with like 215K or something like this. Maybe we get 250K peak, crazy irrational top sort of stuff. So you're going to try to catch a 10 to 15% move down, hopefully to rebuy. Hopefully, of course, you have to be right. You have to hope it doesn't turn against you. In many cases, it's just easier to hold through the volatility, unless you're actively trading. If you're actively trading, that's different. And you don't even have to ask this question because you're actively trading and you know. If you're holding a long-term portfolio, what's the point? Unless you think the market cycle's over, and that's, of course, your opinion. You can think that. I don't think market cycle's over. I think we're just getting started. We're not even at the Bitcoin halving yet. But if you think it's all over and everything's going to go to zero, or, go into a new bear market, we're going to go down 70, 80, 90%, maybe you're right. Maybe it is time for you to sell. But that's not my opinion. Okay. We got to catch up here, man. Where are we up to? Did I buy? I've bought Jupe multiple more times. I've probably bought Jupe 7 or 8 times in total. Although, I have not bought Jupe at $1.80. I think I bought a little bit more at $1.50 the other day. But I would now, to be honest, I would wait for a pullback. I don't need to buy anymore. But if I see Jupe like $1, again, I'd probably buy a bunch more. If $1.30, I might add a little bit more. I'm almost up to a big fat round number of the total number of tokens, which is not necessarily an important thing, but we're irrational monkeys, and I'd like to see the big round fat number versus the sort of odd number that it is right now. So I might buy it $1.30 just to complete that, so to speak. Anyway, Can Sui be the Solana killer? You know, in order to be the Solana killer, I think you need to catch the hype. And look, I think people have been talking enough about the Sui ecosystem. It's interesting. I think Sui's got potential. Let's just put that out there. I think it's got potential. They've got a lot of work to do. Remember, Solana's got an entire cycle on them already. So if you talk about Sui as being the Solana killer, well, they got a lot of catching up to do. They have a lot of infrastructure to build. They have a lot of users to onboard. And now they have to compete in the marketplace against the incumbent Solana and the other chains. Let's just say in this specific example, we're comparing against Solana. Solana's already got a massive head start. So they got a lot of work to do to catch up. Now, if you're looking at, okay, they're the underdog, they're going to do it, I believe in the tech and the team and the money behind it and the narrative and all that stuff, then maybe it's an interesting bet to make. Certainly more upside potential than Solana right now, right at $160, wherever it's at. Is there a limit to the amount of jupe that we should stake? No, you can stake as much as you want. I'm staking all mine. Should we try to stay under a certain amount? No, just do whatever you want. Stake it all, stake none of it. I mean, obviously you have to stake and then participate in governance. If you don't participate in the governance, you don't get anything. You have to vote. Tony, that's awesome. My bestie's daughter is doing her first gig at Loyola University's FM station. Got to go. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Real life stuff, man. Go touch grass. Love it. Nestor, another one. Would you say it's a smart tactic once up on gains to defer some of those to buying gold, coins, and bars? Digital gold for the real world gold. Look, I mean, you certainly can. I have some gold and silver, but you have to be honest about your gold and silver. It's an underperforming asset. Getting it feels good. It's nice. I like holding it. It's pretty cool. But realistically, gold's going to underperform versus Bitcoin. It's going to underperform versus index funds. It's going to underperform versus basically everything. Gold's very slow moving and it doesn't produce any cash. Now, if you want to have some gold squirreled away in your safe, just, you know, in case, yeah, sure, I do. Why not a little bit, you know, but I'm not sure I'd even buy any more gold and silver, to be honest, because just don't have any cash flow from it. Nice to have, I guess, but not really like doing much for you besides just sitting there. Okay, Sergio, yes, I am staking my memes on Trader Joe for our 10K to 100K crypto portfolio challenge. I've taken our cock in you and I've stuck it in Trader Joe's meme coin rush. Okay. Any thoughts on Bitcoin miners? I have no idea what their tops are going to be this cycle, but certainly Bitcoin miners have been a pretty interesting bet so far. An interesting beta play, certainly an interesting beta play on the stock market for Bitcoin. So they're very cyclical. When the bear market comes, they'll go down big time, but they're growth stocks, right? And so if you're interested in having that kind of beta play, the stocks could be pretty good. I don't own any. I only own Coinbase stocks as a crypto stock thing. I've got a giant bag of Coinbase stocks. I hope it goes up dramatically in price. It'd be fantastic. Waldo says, I own Jupiter and Coinbase. Is there a better place to stake? So many Jupiter questions. Look, you need to get on chain. If it's on Coinbase, I don't think it even has staking available over there at all. But if it does, then you're probably not going to get all the airdrops and stuff. You need to actually go on chain, get it on your Phantom wallet, get over to the Jupiter website and actually stake it there and then participate in governance. What is the staking reward for Jupiter? It's not a straight staking. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're not answering any more Jupiter questions today after this one, but I understand. You guys want to know the answers. How much staking reward for Jupe? It's not a set staking reward per se. So they're giving out 100 million Jupe tokens for this year for people who participate in governance. So right now there's about 300 million coins for 100 million. So you get about 0.3, let's say, jupe per one jupe that you stake and then participate consistently in governance with. Plus, you will get 0.75% of the fees from the launch pads, which could be very lucrative. Plus, we're seeing a lot of airdrops already coming as well. So can also be very lucrative. It's undetermined exactly how profitable this governance staking will be, but initial estimates are that it could be pretty profitable. So keep that in mind. All right, we'll do one or two more here, guys, and we'll finish up for today. Coin Wars has seen Bitcoin miners switching to BCH. Hash rate doubled on BCH in 1 day last week. Cool. I don't think very much about Bitcoin Cash. I know you were saying earlier there's the Bitcoin Cash halving, which I had no idea. It's not care about it, to be honest. But I also don't hate on it. You know, if you're making money on Bitcoin Cash, man, and that's your thing, that's your vibe, that's your game, you know it inside and out, you're gonna go make money on that. More power to you, man. I would never buy Bitcoin Cash. I don't care about get Bitcoin Cash. And I think a lot of people in the market don't either. Now, because miners go and they see an opportunity to mine and dump it profitably, that is not in itself like a big, like, oh, wow, look how great that is. Plus, a lot of the Bitcoin miners are probably switching over some of the machines that are previous generation machines to mine Bitcoin Cash, where their new generation machines will be going to mine Bitcoin, would be my guess. Are you a holder of Eglogl? No, I've never heard of that. What is that? For base exposure, how do you feel about buying 50% Optimism and 50% Coinbase stock? Well, the Coinbase stock, maybe. I think that could be a pretty good play as a proxy play to the base chain, because obviously the fees are all going back to Coinbase right now, and they're big fees. Optimism, I'm not sure. I need to look into it more. I'm not sure how much actual value base is going to create for Optimism. Maybe it creates a lot of value for it. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the relationship, but I'm not positive on how much value will actually be created through base for Optimism. It's great that they're working closely together, but it doesn't mean that like Coinbase's base is like handing over like, here's $10 million a week, Optimism guys, to go and burn your own token or whatever. Because even if they are giving money over, for example, to the Optimism Foundation, it doesn't mean it's going on chain to the tokens. And this is something you have to keep in mind with a lot of this stuff. Just because a company is doing really, Arbitrum's doing fantastically, the token is not. Governance tokens, man. Governance tokens. Diane Mara, any advice for New York residents? We can't buy much here. I would say get on chain. Get on chain, get on chain, get on chain. You can access most front ends. Not all. Some might be restricted in your area, but I'd say you can probably access most front ends for a lot of major DeFi apps on chain. Centralized exchanges are very limited. You got to get on chain. That's where the fun is happening. Okay. I have some of these weird questions. Trying to find a good one. There's all kinds of stuff here, guys. Thoughts on all kinds of random coins. Let's do quick. GPU, AI hype's big. Don't know enough about GPU, but generally AI hype's big. Brett, biggest meme coin right now on base, could be the next big meme coin, multi-billion-dollar market cap one. Could not be, could go to zero. I don't really know. Thoughts on ASI, never heard of it. Richard Hart warned on governance tokens. And look, everybody's realized forever. Can't give Richard credit for that. I think everyone's realized forever. Yeah, governance tokens are problematic for a variety of reasons. I've been talking about it for years. Sometimes governance tokens can pump in spite of themselves. Other times, not so much. Rather be sailing, so try uphold to buy from New York. Let's do a quick take on a couple other. Slurf, no idea. Absolutely no idea on Slurf. Another random meme coin that I know went really big, really fast. Went from like $0 to like $1.5 billion or something. Was that the one in like 48 hours? No idea about Slurf besides I've seen the picture of it a few times. I have no idea about the tokenomics. Okay, this is probably last good one to finish up. Alfredo Flores, Lark, I have 3K. When do I jump in after the pullback? Look, during the pullback is usually an interesting time to start accumulating. Now, you don't have to put all your money in at once. Not financial advice, obviously. You don't have to put all your money at once. You can actually just ease into it. Put a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, it doesn't have to all be like, 100% of my money on this coin today, and let's roll the dice and see what happens. You're probably going to want 5-6 coins for that. Maybe you put $100 in a day or a week or something like that. Maybe you do want to put it all in straight away. You're probably going to want to do that because that's the sort of the normal reaction. But generally, you might want to go a bit slower. Just, dollar cost average in, take your time, make sure you're learning about what you're actually investing in before putting your hard-earned money on the table. If you have 3K to put in, look, 3K is a lot of money to a lot of people, and it's probably a lot of money to you. And if you worked hard for that money, just be careful with it. Crypto's wild, man. You can lose all that money real fast. I know it's seductive to think I'm going to be the guy who goes out and buys that meme coin, put $1,000 in, I'm going to turn into an overnight millionaire. It's probably not going to be. You're probably going to lose all the money, right? Or even putting your money into sort of more fundamentally sound projects. You might have to expect that you put in 3K tomorrow, and then in a week you have 2K, and you're going to be freaking the fuck out, man. And your instinct is going to be to sell, and you're going to sell and take $1,000 loss and walk away. And that's not how winning is done. If you put your whole 3,000 in tomorrow, for example, you have to expect volatility. You have to be ready to watch that $3,000 go down to 1,500 before it bounces back up and goes to 10. Hopefully, not financial advice. Guys, thanks for joining today's stream. You're awesome. Appreciate everyone's time, and I'll see you next time. Peace.